Hi, I'm Anna Knoll, and this is my ethical dilemma presentation over my essay. The main question that I asked in my essay is, how do you define an ethical dilemma's ending decision as either right or wrong? So, I believe this is done by being aware of the two ethical points addressed in Chapter 9, which are changing in society ethics and set in stone ethics. So to describe changing in society ethics, I'm going to use the article by Stephen J. A. Ward in Chapter 9, and in it he states, "Ethics is the difficult practical task of applying norms and standards to ever new and changing circumstances." I think that there's some just moral things that change as the world grows and as the world matures. For example, gay marriage. Back in the day, gay marriage wasn't acceptable, and a lot of people thought that it was morally wrong. But now that the world's just kind of grown a little bit more, and we've, been more open to different things and accepting different things, now gay marriage is legal, and to a lot of people it's socially acceptable. And there is a link in the board that shows some statistics and graphs and charts over that, and how many people think that that gay is and homosexuality is okay. And there's a few other different things like gambling and drinking and stuff like that that people are now finding more morally acceptable. But to describe set in stone ethics, I'm going to take the article from the Manuel Velasquez and all those people who wrote that article called The Right Approach Standard. And in it they say, "The list of moral rights, including the right to make one's own choice about what kind of life they lead, to be told the truth, not to be injured, to a degree of privacy, and so on." To me, a set in stone, I feel like that really helps define the set in stone ethics, because it's always going to be morally acceptable to tell the truth or not to harm anybody. And so there's just always going to be those certain things that are always going to be correct or always going to be wrong. Like lying is always going to be pretty much known as being wrong. And so there's also some statistics, and I think there's a graph in the other link. Maybe it's a poll, and it kind of shows how many people think that lying is wrong and how many people think it's right, and stuff like that. And so to define my ethical dilemma decision, I use set in stone ethics to see whether the decision I made in my own ethical dilemma was right or wrong. And in my ethical dilemma, I had a broken headlight on my car, and 2 weeks after I figured out that I had a broken headlight, I got in a car wreck with somebody. It was their fault. They hit me going through a red light, and they hit me close to where my headlight was. And so there was a bunch of damage, dents and stuff. So we figured out all the insurance and car stuff like that, and they were going to pay for it. And so I get to the car shop to get my car fixed, and the guy was like, "Is your headlight broken from the car crash?" And I was like, just immediately answered, no, that was broken beforehand. And he was like, "Well, I really appreciate your honesty, and I will charge you. It's free of charge to fix your headlight too." I was like, "Wow, thank you so much." And so really telling the truth is a set in stone ethic, and I believe that the decision I made to say no, that was my fault beforehand, and I think that was the right decision to make. And yeah, so, thank you.